Patrick Mahomes was ranked as the 22nd best quarterback in the 2014 college football recruiting class, so where are the 21 quarterbacks ranked higher than him now?
What started at number 21 was William Kress coming out of Baltimore, Maryland, who committed to play for the West Virginia Mountaineers.
And in his first 2 seasons at West Virginia, he barely saw any playing time and actually be converted to a wide receiver. Sadly though, he was just a complete bust of a college football recruit, as in his entire career he only had 4 catches for 29 yards. And now he currently works as a staff associate in the Baltimore City Public Schools. And cracking into the top 20 is Rafe Peavy coming out of Bolivar, Missouri, who committed to play for Arkansas. And in his 2 seasons with the Razorbacks, he basically saw no playing time, so in 2017 he transferred to SMU, where he also didn't play much, and then 2018 transferred to FAU. He didn't do much of anything in college football and is now currently a project manager for Coventry Homes. And at number 19 is Chris Durkin coming out of Youngstown, Ohio, who committed to play for Virginia Tech. And in his time at Virginia Tech, he basically saw no playing time and was converted to a tight end. So following his time at Virginia Tech, he transferred to Youngstown State, where he actually had 1 catch for 22 yards as a tight end. And he never made it in professional football and is now currently a custom development mentor for Power Homes Remodeling. And coming in at number 18 is Foster Sawyer coming out of Fort Worth, Texas, who committed to play for TCU. And in his 3 seasons with the Horned Frogs, he basically saw no playing time and just wasn't really a high impact player, so he decided to transfer to play for Stephen F. Austin. And at the school, he only played there for 1 season and didn't really do much. It is now currently a director of football operations and a quarterbacks coach. And at number 17 is Mason Rudolph coming out of Rock Hill, South Carolina, who committed to play for Oklahoma State. And in his 4 seasons with Oklahoma State, he actually became a pretty good quarterback, and in 2017 he was great, throwing 37 touchdowns as he won the Sammy Ball Trophy and was a second-team All-Big 12 selection. And then Mason Rudolph would go on to be selected in the 3rd round of the 2018 NFL Draft by the Pittsburgh Steelers, where he actually got to see playing time in his rookie year. And since this, Mason Rudolph has mostly been a backup quarterback in the NFL and currently played for the Tennessee Titans this season. And at number 16 is Jalen McClendon coming out of Charlotte, North Carolina, who committed to play for NC State. And in his 4 seasons with the Wolfpack, he basically did nothing and saw no playing time, so in 2018 he transferred to Baylor, where he also wasn't very great. And he obviously went undrafted, never recording a single statistic in the NFL, bounced around many different teams and leagues, and is currently playing for the Houston Roughnecks. And just cracking into the top 15 is Michael O'Connor coming out of Bradenton, Florida, who committed to play for Penn State. And in his 1 season at Penn State, he basically saw no playing time, so following this 1 year, he transferred to UBC. And at UBC, he actually became a pretty good quarterback there for 4 seasons, as he actually threw 87 touchdowns in his career. He then was drafted 20th overall in the 3rd round of the 2019 CFL Draft by the Toronto Argonauts. And he last played for the BC Lions in 2022. And coming in at number 14 is Deshaun Kaiser coming out of Toledo, Ohio, who committed to play for Notre Dame. And he would actually become Notre Dame's starting quarterback for 2 seasons in 2015 and 2016, where he was pretty solid and would go on to be selected in the 2nd round of the 2017 NFL Draft by the Browns. And in his rookie season with the Browns, he was a complete bust, throwing 11 touchdowns to 22 interceptions. After this, he was released, bouncing around many different teams, and last playing in the NFL in 2021 is now currently a co-founder of On Discourse. And at number 13 is JJ Castino coming out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, who committed to play for Florida State. And in his 4 seasons with the Seminoles, he never really did much and was a complete bust, and is currently a district manager for Chemetall. And coming in at number 12 is KJ Carter-Samuels coming out of San Jose, California, who committed to play for the Washington Huskies. And in his 4 seasons at Washington, he was a bust and basically saw no playing time, so in 2018 he transferred to Colorado State. And he was a solid starting quarterback for Colorado State, but was never amazing, and last played in the German Football League for the Dresden Monarchs. And at number 11 is Caleb Henderson coming out of Alexandria, Virginia, who committed to play for North Carolina. And at North Carolina, he was a complete bust, only ever attempting 1 pass, so in 2017 he transferred to Maryland, where he also only attempted 1 pass. And he obviously was never going to make it in professional football, and he's now currently an offensive assistant quarterbacks coach for Georgetown. And coming in at number 9 is Clayton Thorson coming out of Wheaton, Illinois, who committed to play for Northwestern. And in his 4 seasons with the Wildcats, he would actually be their starting quarterback for 3 seasons and was a pretty solid player. And this allowed him to be selected in the 5th round of the 2019 NFL Draft by the Philadelphia Eagles, but he sadly never played in a single game for them. He last played professional football in 2023 in the USFL and is now currently an associate at CBRE. And at number 8 is Sean White coming out of Hollywood, Florida, who committed to play for Auburn. And in his 3 seasons with the Auburn Tigers, he was a complete bust, never really playing much, and was actually dismissed from the team in 2017. And now he is currently an associate vice president for Bank of America. And coming in at number 7 is Brad Kaya coming out of West Hills, California, who committed to play for Miami. And he had an amazing true freshman season for the Hurricanes, as he threw 26 touchdowns to only 12 interceptions and would be named the ACC Rookie of the Year. After this, he had 2 more great seasons as Miami's starting quarterback and was actually a 3rd-team All-ACC selection in 2015, and then would go on to be selected in the 6th round of the 2017 NFL Draft. Sadly, though, he never recorded a single statistic in the NFL and last played with the Cincinnati Bengals in 2019. And at number 6 is Jacob Park coming out of South Carolina, who committed to play for Georgia. And at Georgia, he was promised promised no playing time and didn't see any at all, so he transferred to a JUCO school before transferring to Iowa State in 2016. And at Iowa State, he was a solid quarterback there for 2 seasons, but was never amazing and never made it to the NFL. And just cracking into the top 5 is Drew Barker, who committed to play for the Kentucky Wildcats. And in his 4 seasons at Kentucky, he was also a bust, never really seeing any playing time there, is now currently an underwriting specialist for Link's specialty. And coming in at number 4 is David Cornwell, coming out of Norman, Oklahoma, who committed to play for Alabama. And at Alabama, in his 3 seasons, he actually only played in 4 games, never recording a single statistic, and was definitely not a fan favorite of the Crimson Tide. So in 2017, he transferred to Nevada, where he also just did not do very much in his 1 season there, and is now currently a financial advisor for Delta One Wealth. And just cracking into the top 3 is Keller Christ, coming out of Palo Alto, California, who committed to play for Stanford. He would go on to play 4 years at Stanford, where he was solid at times, but was never amazing. So in 2018, he transferred to Tennessee. And he played 1 season at Tennessee, where he didn't do very much, and is now currently an offensive analyst for Iowa. And coming in at number 2 is Will Grier, coming out of Davidson, North Carolina, who committed to play for Florida. And in his 2 seasons with the Gators, he was actually a pretty good quarterback for them, but in 2017, he transferred to play for West Virginia. And in his 2 seasons as West Virginia's starting quarterback, he was truly amazing, as he actually won Big 12 Offensive Newcomer of the Year. He then would be selected in the 3rd round of the 2019 NFL Draft by the Carolina Panthers. Sadly, though, he hasn't done much in the NFL, mostly being a backup quarterback, and is currently on the Dallas Cowboys roster. And the number 1 quarterback recruit was Kyle Allen, coming out of Scottsdale, Arizona, who committed to play for Texas A&M. And in his 2 seasons as the Aggie starting quarterback, he was actually a very good quarterback there and was great. He then transferred to Houston for 1 season before going undrafted in the 2018 NFL Draft and signing with the Panthers. He was expected to just be a backup quarterback, but in 2019, in his 2nd year with the Panthers, he actually got a chance to start a couple games. Since then, though, he hasn't done much in the NFL and is currently with the Steelers.